G'day guys, Stu here from Plan Manager Sim, and today from Healthroos I've got Sukhjit here. How you going, mate?
Very good. Happy to be here.
Mate, I am thrilled to have you here, and the reason I'm thrilled to have you here is because we were talking off camera before about the idea that physios can do a lot more than people give them credit for.
Yes.
And I know that there's a rivalry between EPs and physios, and it's just like the arts and sciences when we go through uni, but in terms of the value that a physio can add, I guess I know that there are a lot of conditions that people are aware of that they can do and a lot of treatments that people are well aware of, but I want to dive into the rare stuff. I want to dive into the stuff that you guys can do as physios that maybe people aren't aware of. And so what would be, say, a disorder or disability, a condition that you know that you can contribute to and contribute in the space of, but maybe don't get asked about?
Yeah. So I would say mental health issue or incontinence, I don't get quite often asked about. So I'll say most of the time when people think about physio, they always think about sports injury, musculoskeletal conditions, pain, or sometimes is more NDIS relevant, which is neurological conditions. So to help people to regain mobility. But I don't get asked about mental health conditions or incontinence, but we do help in those two conditions. And we do have specific techniques to help with people with those conditions as well.
Okay, well, let's start with the mental health because they're two distinct conditions there. So tell me more about some of the stuff that you might do from a mental health perspective or for a mental health condition that you might be able to do as a physio.
Yeah. So as a physio, as you know, or general public knows, we love exercising.
Yeah,
right?
Look, only a little bit.
So we love exercising. So, you know, in some research for exercise, it works even better or the same as antidepressant for depressive symptoms. Isn't that fascinating?
Yeah, it really is. I mean, the idea, one, it's also having less medical intervention means that there's less risk of it clashing with other medications that a participant may be taking. But the idea that it's also about reducing their muscle atrophy, it's about the physical health and well-being that comes from it.
Yeah.
And so what might be some of the techniques that you would use as a physio to assist with that mental health?
So apart from just general exercises that can enhance their mood, their sleep, improve their confidence, improve their self-esteem, in physio world, we use mindful exercise.
Okay.
So how we do it, so I love, because I'm half Indian and half Hong Kongese, so I love Tai Chi and yoga.
Do they go together very well?
Yeah, they do. So sometimes I've developed like a exercise program with some yoga component and Tai Chi component as well. So how we do it is we ask the client to perform like a very slow movement. And then I'll ask the client to just focus on a particular joint or particular muscle. And for example, I'll ask the client to feel the stretch while you shifting your weight to the right side. And then that makes them to be mindful of their movement instead of focusing on the pain or any emotional distress they're having. So most of the time, I would say a lot of clients, after consistent training of that mindful body awareness exercise, they feel a lot better that they can distract. Whenever they have that emotional distress, they can distract themselves to the present moment. So they don't feel that distress affecting them.
So there is that level of that movement leading to mindfulness, leading to stretch, leading to a lot of those different things as a chain reaction.
Yes.
Wow.
It helps a lot with people. So if we just talk about meditation or mindfulness, it helps a lot with chronic pain and mental health conditions. And exercise helps a lot as well. So I love to combine both.
Yeah.
When we prescribe exercise, we always can, ask the client to do a body scan or to be aware of any kind of, movements. They feel quite mindful of their body. So they don't feel as much pain, because it's very common for people with chronic pain with our mental health conditions, because they always goes together. Because, pain is quite a complex thing.
It is.
So when you have let me say it, talk about an analogy. So when you have a long day of work, and then when you're very busy that day and you're already agitated, and you're driving in Sydney, where traffic is very bad. Yeah. And then when you're stuck in traffic, you're going to be more agitated. You're going to be angry. You might, I just want to go home and rest, right? And when you have a very good day of work and you're not tired, you had a great sleep last night, if you are in a good mood and you're stuck in traffic, that's okay. I'll just get home a bit later. I won't care about like being stuck in traffic, or you might even sing along with the, the Spotify or your music.
Or you're going to be listening to a very educational podcast.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
So that's how, mental health conditions come into play when you have chronic pain. Because when you're in a low mood or when you're agitated already, and then even the slightest pain in your body can become like a severe pain because of that mood, and that psychological component comes into play.
You're absolutely right. And I know that from my previous, because I have worked with a bunch of physios in the past, is that when a participant has a chronic pain issue, a lot of the time they'll then avoid that movement or avoid that particular joint or whatever it is to not experience that pain, which then leads to the atrophy around it, which then leads to more pain.
Correct.
So it is about that idea of trying to be mindful about it so that they are more inclined to use those body parts to try and keep things moving. And you're absolutely right. There is that massive link between perceived pain and then that chronic pain, and then how that impacts on their general health and well-being. As you pointed out, Sukhjit, is that the agitation of either a nerve or an agitation of a person can seriously impact on their behavior. And you're absolutely right. So it's really good to hear that. And there are links there. You can clearly hear that there's that link between the physical movement to the mental health outcomes of the participant. And so that then gives value to a plan or to a participant who's looking to overcome that chronic pain or have those issues with that impacts on their mental health specifically, because we are drawing it back to that mental health component about how that then links there. So it does show that there is potentially some value there that people may not have necessarily considered before. And yes, I mean, people know exercise make feel good. We know that, people who already experience that, but it's exercise make people feel good, but also improve mental health overall, especially when there's that added component of a disability that we may not necessarily have considered. So it's really good to hear that component. And I know that we previously talked about the idea that you mentioned incontinence as being another one that you can help with but don't get asked about. So how would you go about supporting someone who was dealing with or experiencing incontinence as a physio?
Yeah, so I would say a lot of people so we do get referral for incontinence, but most of the time it's from quite experienced nurse or some coordinators, support coordinators. They do know physio can help with incontinence. A lot of people, they don't know physio, if not in the NDIS space, but general public, they don't know physio can train the pelvic floor muscles to help them to control when they control the flow or, when they have any incontinence issue, it helps them to control that when they go to the bathroom, right? Yeah. And then I feel like it lacks understanding that we can help. And to be more NDIS relevant, I would say a lot of people, when they have neurological conditions, they do have incontinence because they don't have that control of the muscles, so they can't really control the flow. And how we do it is we try to educate them how to, we have different strategies, how to activate that specific muscles. And then afterwards, we might ask, when do you feel, when do you have that incontinence episode? When is the most, when maybe walking, or maybe when they're stressed, or maybe when they are, doing a podcast.
Yeah, that's pretty, it is stressful,
So we try to incorporate that function when we train the pelvic floor muscles. So for example, if they experience incontinence in sitting, we'll train the pelvic floor in sitting. If they experience in walking, we'll train the pelvic floor muscles in walking. So that helps them to, control the flow. And you can imagine that how that can change a person's life, because you're not anxious about, finding toilet when you go to the community. You don't have to be, stressed about when I'm going to have incontinence episode when I'm talking to someone, and they can, go out to the community with more independence, and that improves confidence. So that's a huge improvement. And that's what drives me to be a physio as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it then allows them to have better social access. It allows them to have better, access to the community with the different social activities they might want to do. But as well as that, let's take it back to a funding level. This can actually be improving their funding situation out of their plan, because as a good physio who can almost get to the point where incontinence could almost be eliminated completely, even if it's not 100%, but even reduced, but eliminated completely would be ideal. that then means that those consumables are not being purchased as much. So the amount of funding that's being used on consumables drops. Therefore, you can use those other fundings in other ways.
That's right.
So there is value in the investment in a physio to reduce or even eliminate incontinence for a participant. It's not just necessarily going, well, they're incontinent, they're going to have these consumables for the rest of their life. I mean, there is always going to be, different people, different situations, but there are going to be potentially circumstances, and as you said, Sukhjit, as well, that an experienced and knowledgeable nurse or support coordinator may see that, your intervention may actually eliminate that altogether, which therefore means that there's a spending now on allied health, but ultimately a reduction in spending on consumables. So even if we take away and go back to what, say, a certain organisation or government level might want to see, which is reducing in the spending, there's a potential for reducing in spending there as well.
Correct. Yeah.
And that knowledge that you then impart on that participant, they can continue those exercises well after you've finished doing support with them. They can have those exercises and continue to do them themselves as well.
Yeah.
So definitely some value there that I had not considered prior. And I'm really glad you came on to talk to us a bit more about this. So look, in terms of Healthroos, what are some of the services that Healthroos actually offer? Because I know you're a physio, but is that all you guys do?
So we do physio and OT right now.
And OT?
Yep, and OT as well.
Yeah.
So because I notice, as allied health professionals, we love to see clients. We don't like to do paperwork or,
An allied health professional who doesn't like doing paperwork.
Yeah, a lot of allied health professionals, they don't like doing paperwork. Yeah. And then they don't like to respond to emails as well. So we, like in Healthroos, we try to, respond to emails very quickly. So we promise like a 4 hours turnaround time.
4 hours.
Yep, for all referral. So I'll, when you ask me like if I can take that referral within 4 hours, I'll get back to you. Yeah.
Fantastic.
So because I think that's one of the main issues that coordinators complain about allied health professionals.
It can be, and it's a question of, it's not so much am I going to choose the first person I talk to? It's, is there capacity so that it can lead to that educational, that conversation. But so you said you do physio, you do OT.
Yeah.
Where do you support? Because again, people could be theoretically watching or listening from anywhere in Australia.
Yep.
Where do you operate at the moment?
So right now we service around Greater Sydney area. Okay. So we go everywhere. So we got 2 physio in our team and we got 3 OT in our team. So we base in different areas so we can travel around Sydney and see different clients. And we do have our own expertise as well. So like personally, I love mental health. I love pain, like chronic pain. As
helping with
pain.
I don't love pain.
No. I love helping people.
That's a totally different podcast.
I love helping with
I love helping people with pain. Yes.
And especially chronic pain, because the leading cause of disability, one of the top 3 is lower back pain. It's chronic pain. Yeah, and I feel like a lot of people, they ignore the pain and they just live with it. But imagine you're having pain all the time when you go out to the community, when you're working, when you're sitting. That's going to affect your life. You're going to feel very agitated, or you're going to feel very, unhappy all the time because of the pain. So, and also mental health as well. Personally, I have quite a few family members who have mental health issue. I even have one of my closest family member pass away because of mental health issue. So that's why I love helping people with mental health, because there isn't that much stigma now, but I feel like it still lacks understanding of mental health, and people still don't understand how mental health can affect a person's life.
You're right. And it's about that holistic view of the idea that the mental impacts on the emotional well-being, impacts on the physical well-being, impacts on the overall health.
Yes.
And that sometimes can get missed.
Yeah.
And I think more than anything, you're right, that the stigma is reduced. We're not quite there yet, but we are getting better.
Yeah.
But I think that having the conversation around that one can impact the other. So by the way, have a look at what all of your treatment options are, might then sort of start breaking down some more of those barriers. So we are in the midst of doing that. So well done. And thank you again for showing us a bit more about that. But yeah, so if they want to reach out to you, how do they contact you? I know you've got that great referral turnaround time, but how are they going to contact you in the first place?
So they can contact me online. So you've got my number. So it's 0404 439 571. Or you can jump online, go to healthroos.com.au. So it's health, HEALTH, Roos, ROOS.
ROOS.com.au. Fantastic. And if you are happening to be watching this on YouTube, you can click on the link in the description. It will be there. Once again, Sukhjit, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.